In 3, 2, 1, take over, Jomar.
Wait, I'm doing the I'm doing the.
Yeah, he said you're going
I'm
to do
hosting
Dredd.
this one.
Yeah,
I'm hosting this one.
yeah, he said you're going to do Dredd.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, fuck you. Right.
You know, this couple here needs a bit more communication between themselves. That's what they need. That's what they need to have a happier and healthier relationship.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, it's easy
Okay.
enough. This movie's easy enough anyway.
Alright.
Not asking you to do Lincoln from Steven Spielberg, so you're fine.
No, okay, you know what Dredd it is.
Alright.
Alright, let's start over. That's a good opening. Hello to all you geeks and degenerates out there, and welcome back to our videos. And today we'll be touching upon 2012's Dredd. Sadly, not the Sylvester Stallone, but hopefully in the future we'll hit on that.
That's gonna be hilarious if we do it.
Hmm?
That's gonna be hilarious if we do it, honestly.
Yeah.
I've heard so many bad things.
Because I want to do that with Demolition Man.
I am the law.
Alright.
I am the law!
I only seen clips of that, so I fear going to it.
I want to go through it.
All right.
But anyway, as always, Enzo's joining me, and the special guest from Slurrp, Seb. How you doing, homie?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good. Anyway, well, back in 2012, sad to say, this flew under my radar.
Same here.
This flew over everyone's radar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Watching this like years later, I hated myself for not watching this in the theater.
It was 20 what?
2012.
2012.
2012.
Mm-hmm.
How old was I in 2012?
Probably like 15.
Would I have been old enough to watch it? Was it R18 or R13?
It was R18.
Definitely R18.
Okay, so I wasn't old enough to watch it, but I wanted to watch it, but I couldn't.
Mm.
Alright, that makes sense.
Oh wait, no, how old are you now? You're 27,
8.
right?
I turned
28.
28 this year, yeah.
Oh, you were 5 years, so I was 13. No, you were 18 when you got to watch this.
Huh, alright, then I didn't watch it at all.
Alright.
2012? No, I couldn't have... Could have been
Oh.
turning 18 in 2012.
Okay. Because I was 13 in 2012.
Alright. Did you turn 13?
Yes. December 2011.
Okay, then yeah, it might have been, yeah. Either I was just old enough to watch it and didn't want to, like, watch it with my parents, or I was just a hair under being able to watch it.
Yeah.
I saw this in the cinema, I saw the poster,
Mm.
and I didn't know anything about Judge Dredd.
Same.
I just know that he's a violent man who believes he's the law. The only reason I know anything about Judge Dredd at all is, and if you like good music, I swear, listen to it. I Am the Law by Anthrax, one of the big four of thrash metal, made a song called I Am the Law, and it's about Judge Dredd. It came out in the 80s.
For sure, it might have been in the Sylvester Stallone one.
Oh god.
It might have been.
Might have
No,
been.
but he's been saying I Am the Law forever. Like,
Okay.
that's, yeah. He is Judge Dredd because he's judge, jury, and executioner. Like, they very much portrayed it here. But yeah, that was a great song, and it wasn't necessarily for anything. They just decided to make a song on Judge Dredd.
I just read
Because
the
he thought
comic.
it was-
I got a great idea.
I think
But-
Miller did Judge Dredd. I could be wrong. Someone who knows the comics better. I've
It-
never read a single one, but I
It
think
kinda
Miller
feels
may
like
have.
it.
I don't think it's
Yeah, it sounds
Miller,
like something.
because they said
No,
who
I
did
think
it.
Miller may have done a run
Oh, okay.
of Dredd. Not necessarily all of it, but I think he did a run, and I think that run is kind of what everyone based it off of, because yeah, that's definitely fucking Miller. I'm looking through some comics right now. I think he
Alright.
did do a Dredd, but yeah.
Alright.
Dredd is very... I know he's older than the 90s, but he's as 90s as you can get as a character. Like, you know, he's like this no-nonsense cop whose entire thing is that he is literally the law. He decides on your fate and executes according to what he thinks you are. He is the entire court system in one dude. Which just tells you this place, wherever it is, it's fucked. It's so fucked. It's such a terrible place. I forgot what the place is called.
It was like a Neo New York.
Like Mega City one.
Mega City one, there we go. It was like all in one place, and it was at the New York side of America because everything else was like bombed to shit by nuclear holocaust, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could say that like Judge Dredd is more like the city is like, you watch this movie and you're like, oh, this is a city I can smell. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
I would say so.
there. You're not there, but you can smell this movie.
Like a hint of iron would linger in your nose from the amount of bloodshed that has come across these streets.
A bit of iron and a shit ton of methane. The place just feels like it smells terrible. And I guess that's why it was so easy for him to maintain that face.
This place smells like shit.
It's like you're in the sewer all the time.
Yeah, I know. Pretty much the movie starring Carl Urban as he starts out with his first comic book character, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this part, yeah.
Yeah, and Olivia Thirlby. And they were such a good dynamic duo.
What's your name again? Judge Anderson?
Judge Anderson.
Judge Anderson,
right.
yeah. Yeah,
Honestly,
Carl Urban
would
as
make
Dredd.
a great wrestler name.
Yeah.
Judge Anderson. The daughter of Arn Anderson from the Four Horsemen, and I guess the cousin of Carl Anderson from the Bullet Club. Anderson's a great name.
Yes.
It's a great name.
I just don't know.
She's a telepath, right?
Yeah, she's a telepath.
Yeah.
Like, she was one of the mutants that got affected by the radiation. Not how the radiation works, but
Gave you powers, but in reality, just gives you cancer.
Just like her parents. But yeah, for her character, she was pretty much the only survivor from her family from radiation cancer.
You're not wrong there, John, but Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not.
Holy Jesus.
And with this kind of a weird like backstory to the judges is that they take all of the orphans and just make them into the judge. Like, okay.
They're one big Batman.
Yeah, they're just a very big Batman. Very lethal.
They read one Batman comic and they're like,
that's a good
well,
idea.
if one orphan understands justice, maybe all the orphans gonna understand justice.
Yeah, and she pretty much failed all of her tests, but the only saving factor about her is that she's psychic. Like, one of the strongest psychics in, I guess, the city. And this city's not that great. Like, if you think Gotham is shit, this is like cyberpunk kind of shit.
It's cyberpunk Gotham.
Yeah.
It's cyberpunk Gotham mixed with like the environment of Mumbai and like the crime of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Just drugs everywhere.
Oh god.
It's not drugs, just everyone's trying to kill you, man. Like,
yeah.
It's cyberpunk Philippines minus the T-poses.
Minus the neon lights and futuristic shit.
Yeah.
Philippines. Anyway, enough for shitting on our own country.
It's okay if we do it. We live here.
That's true.
That's true.
And yeah, he has to pretty much take her under his wing, pretty much put her through the ropes. And when I mean put her through the ropes, pretty much plunge her into the deep end of the, city underbelly. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and he gives
this is how. Yeah, you gotta love how he gives him like the statistics. I was like, 1 out of 5 Dredd recruits, one of them always dies. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then you must obey my orders or you fail. If your sidearm or your main weapon gets taken away from you, you fail. If you decided on the wrong, either execute or spare.
Like, wrong sentence for a
criminal,
a suspect or a criminal. Yeah, you fail. I was like, wow, there's a lot of margins. Alright. And you can see that it's a little bit heavy on her at the start.
Honestly, shit we've encountered. Like 80% is a fail for us, man. 88 is a fail.
Yes.
88 is the fail.
Yeah.
So when you get that 89, you're like, fuck me. All right.
And like, if you get a 90, you get a stare from the teacher like, you were close.
You were so close to failing. So close to failing at 90%.
Right? Damn.
Well, yeah.
And that's probably from the verse. Anyway.
Probably.
Fucking verse. Yeah.
Like, I don't know for what budget this was made, but like, they definitely used the most out of it. And in terms of like effects and in terms of star power too. Because
I will
Lena Headey's
say-
in it. And this
Yeah.
I think the color grading helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like how everything was presented in terms of color, and like, you know how the camera always kind of felt like there was a little bit of lens flare all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it just made the environment feel very uncomfortable.
I was gonna say, yeah. Especially when they take the inhaler drug thing. Slow-mo.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah, where I was like, ooh, this is probably good for them, but I hate the sight of it.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. It's really. This is a movie that I like, but it's hard to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a slight bummer. Like, I don't know how rewatchable this movie is. I've seen it a couple of times, and have watched it both times that I've seen it, but it's rough, dude.
Oh,
It's rough to
I
get through.
think me and Enzo recently watched it for this review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it is very rewatchable. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
For me, in my opinion,
It's very
rewatchable.
straightforward. Like,
Yeah.
that helps. It's not the most complicated plot in the world. But in terms of looking at it, it's disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how, but like the first time I watched this was on Star Movies. Like out of all the movies.
No, I get that. I probably saw it in Star Movies too, where some things are censored,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is not a good way to see these movies.
Yeah. The one part that wasn't censored was Mama's end. I'm like, oh, that's graphic.
Mama's what?
And
The way she dies.
yeah.
Oh. Now that okay, we'll get to that. But that scene was cool for a little detail that they added.
Yeah,
I'll talk
and-
about it later.
With slow-mo, the main narcotic here, for them it's a drug, for us it's a really cool special effect.
Oh yeah, it's for them to just be a little bit, Snyder.
Yeah.
You know, that's their excuse to have like the Snyder trick.
The Snyder trick is just slow mo, guys. We're sorry. Like, we wish it was more elaborate than that, but it's just slow mo.
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
And Lena Headey's pretty good as the villain too.
Oh
She's
yeah.
intimidating.
Lena's really good as the villain. When the fuck has she not been good as the villain? It's her whole thing. Did you know that she was so good at Cersei, as Cersei Lannister that people refused to let her sign their stuff?
Because they were scared of her.
At, like, cast signings. Some were scared, others just hated her.
Signs of a good actress. I think that is a compliment.
Yeah,
Unless
it's a
they
sign
took
of
that
a good. It's a sign of a good actress, but it's so mean.
It
You
is.
know, like like she seems like the nicest lady in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch like interviews, like she's always a villain, but when you see her, it's like,
Like, Lena Headey seems like such a nice woman. Like, there are two people in this world that constantly play villains that when they're in real life, they're the nicest people ever. It's Lena Headey and Giancarlo Esposito. Giancarlo Esposito is the nicest guy. He's so smiley and happy and energetic. But in his movies, he's always like, I'm gonna kill your baby.
drop a little bit of words of wisdom and then kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dangerous with the box cutter, that's for sure.
But yeah, we pretty much get a fucked up introduction to the movie on like how this is gonna be. From the start, we already see that one guy who pretty much shot up a mall
Yeah.
at the beginning, who ran away from Judge Dredd, and he was like, "Sure thing, hot shot." And I'm like, "What? Sure thing, hot shot," and pretty much puts like an incendiary bullet into this dude's mouth.
And it
I'm
still
like,
burst through his skull.
yeah. And then we see Lena Headey pretty much throw skinned humans off probably the 200th floor of this fucking building. And splatter onto the floor.
That's one way to set the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Like, we definitely understand how the movie's gonna be after that.
yep. Pretty
And
much.
I like it.
Yep.
Yep.
And if you didn't watch it in Star Movies, you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see brain, you just see skin, flesh. I'm like, okay.
It's the worst anatomy lesson ever.
Yeah. I feel bad for this rookie though, because she just happened to pick the raid apartment. Like, from all the jobs that she had to pick, she picked the worst one.
The worst day of her life. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, because remember, Carl Urban is just like just checking her work.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you choose what work you want to do. You're free to do that. I was like, okay, let's try the nicest name, Peachtree. Seems nice. Little to your knowledge, Lena Headey was in it. I was like, oh well.
Like, it's a nice name, but that's where it ends.
Yep.
You know, Tondo doesn't sound like a terrible place, but Tondo.
Yeah, it's pretty much Tondo, but a building, like an apartment.
Yeah.
Yes. An apartment complex in Tondo.
Yeah, where there's a drug lab right here, and probably a Mr. Burger right there.
Basically, any apartment complex in Tondo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tondo, but you're the worst.
Yeah.
I've been there. I'm talking from experience.
Same
It's
here.
the worst.
Anyway.
We need judges in Tondo. We need some dreads in
God.
Tondo. It would be a safer place, but also terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. From the judges and from Tondo.
Yes.
But yeah, the action in this movie is pretty sick.
Oh yeah, I love it that they don't cut from the gun, like the firefights. Because you would see like majority of the time when, especially in 2012, when there's a gunfight, it's either they'll cut to a character shooting, they'll cut to the guy dying, they'll cut back to the character reloading. They just repeat, rinse, wash, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
With Judge Dredd, nah. You see him tactically move in, cap a dude in the knee, and shoot him in the forehead. I'm like, I like this. I like that they are not cutting away from Judge Dredd. It's such a shame that this went over people's heads.
The gas grenade sequence is pretty sick too. Like they're all like dying on their own cough, and then they're being shot at the same time.
Yeah. I love that. And you know that, like, if you're a cop watching this and you think that Judge Dredd is a cop, the system in the Dredd universe doesn't work like how we do. They give the call to be like, all right, lethal it is. So there's no reading their rights.
I love that gun, by the way. I just gotta say, it's a
Yeah.
great gun.
It is a great gun.
Even like Lena had these like right hand mans. Like I always wanted to have one of these.
Oh yeah, it blows up in his hand because it's not his.
Yeah. Oh, when they use the stun grenade and they're still like trying to get the judge. Like, you have 5 seconds. Like, no, you have 2 seconds, judge. And they get stunned and they get shot in the head. Like,
Yeah, no, I love that though. He was like, I'll give you 20 seconds to, like either surrender or I come in busting, But they were like, no, you got 5. Thanks for the heads up. Flashbang through the door. Like,
and then that's when Anderson gets her first kill. Because there's a guy on the ground. She's like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Yeah. And he was a family man. I'm like, hey man, you chose to fight the judges. I'm sorry.
And it speaks to Mama's reputation. Because when they're trying to enter the medical facility, because they have a suspect with them. And they're like, hey, we need help. He's like, no, I'm dead if I help you.
I will say that do not get offended if you're a big fan of the Judge Dredd movie. They do take a huge influence from the rating. I will.
I mean, I'd say everything fucking did.
Yeah.
Like Daredevil fucking did.
I don't know, when it comes to like the fighting and like some shots and some scenes, that's fine. But here they kind of took a lot, like the plot, the Lena Headey pretty much sitting down over the intercom and telling everybody, "Hey, there'll be a nice reward if you take these 2 judges out." I was like, this is very,
Yeah.
John Wick 3.
Yeah, and then there's a scene where they're in the lab and he's like pretty much taking care of everybody there. I was like, and it's near the end too. So I was like, this is very Raid. Huh.
Right.
But still, I don't hate it. I like it that they took this reference from the
I
Raid
just-
because it's like a little bit of formality that I really liked,
Just
and they
mi-
worked with it and put their own style into it.
minus the Mad Dog, because everyone here's a Mad Dog.
Yeah, minus the martial arts as well. Well, there's
Yeah.
a little bit, but like it's mostly a gunfight.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, since this guy is taking out so many people, like, it seems unfair. Like, he's almost Superman-like. And like, what's the
Oh,
solution
yeah.
to this problem?
Huxley is like, he's killed 30 people and he hasn't broken a sweat. I'm like, oh god.
Alright, that is
Yeah,
Donald
man.
Gleason. I didn't realize that until I rewatched it. Like, oh, that's the guy from Harry
That's-
Potter and Star Wars.
Ah, yeah, he was a Weasley. Forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Not another Weasley. He's the cool Weasley.
Yeah,
He's the I take care of dragons Weasley.
yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah.
what was it, Bulgaria? I forgot.
But yes, to prevent Dredd from being like a Superman level where nothing harms him, they bring in other judges because they have some corrupt judges on Mama's side.
Oh yeah, are we? I think we moved a little too far, or those scenes just like it's just pretty much a gunfight throughout.
It is, but like we didn't miss the minigun sequence.
Oh yeah, that shit was sick, man.
Yeah,
As I know, there's a lot of people who died there, women, children, innocent
That's
people. But that was a cool fucking shot.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like what I wish would happen to Marley Simulator.
Yeah,
Watch the
Yeah.
Attack on Titan video, guys.
yeah,
and then Mama
Who
just
are
takes
the
over
villains?
too. It's like, I'll handle this.
yeah. And you gotta love how the entire time they're under fire and things aren't going their way, and things are going from 0 to 100, sorry, 10 to 100 very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Dredd is still evaluating this rookie. I'm like, man, stop evaluating me and take this thing seriously. But it's his character.
Also,
Dude's still calm all throughout. I was like, I like that.
I love the fact that Carl Urban doesn't do the Christian Bale. I'm like, I'm Judge Dredd, so that's what
Judge
you're
Dredd.
like. You can still
Nah,
hear
no.
hints of Carl Urban in his voice.
Yeah, he still does the raspy voice, but it's still...
I mean,
Stop.
Dredd has a raspy voice. He can't not do the raspy voice, but yes, it wasn't full Batman.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Would you rather have, I am the law, or I am the law? It's a little slack jaw.
Honestly, there's room for both.
Yeah.
There's room for both. Like, if there's one good, serious version, I also want to see the stupid, dumb version. That's why I like Batman and Robin, guys.
And in that version,
Let's have a watch party for the old Dredd.
And,
I would
yeah.
love that.
And in that movie, unlike this one, Stallone just had to keep taking his helmet off because he's fucking Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah, you gotta show the money, like the what you paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always found that really stupid. Like, I know the reason why, if you notice, so many, especially superhero movies, will have way too many scenes of the masks coming off.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to act, supposedly, with masks on. And it's hard to emote with masks on. Like, one thing that, like, Robert Pattinson said about the difficulties of acting as Batman with a cowl on is because it takes away your eyebrows.
Yeah.
And apparently when you take away your eyebrows, it gets more difficult to act because you could look a certain way, but it doesn't translate because all people see are, this.
Yeah.
And you're just like... But, to me, with a character like Dredd, it works better when you can't really tell too much of the emotion.
Yeah, I mean the man's stoic all throughout.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's a good test of an actor's actual ability. Like, Tom Hardy must have had, like, a really hard time acting as Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because all he had were but he only had his
He only had
eyes.
those, man.
man.
He didn't have the rest of his entire face to act with, but that worked. And to me, like, there's more to an actor who can act with a mask on the whole time than an actor who can act really well when you can see his face. Like, You watch The Mandalorian. Majority of the time, you could not see a face, but you could tell when he was pissed. Somehow, you could tell when he was sad. You could tell when he was worried, and like that's the same with Carl Urban. Like you could tell he got a great acting performance with like 50% of his face off.
Yeah.
Not like the way it happens in Dredd with certain people, but like 50% of his face covered, not off, like he wasn't skinned.
Yeah.
No, but like this is exactly the way you should portray Dredd, because Dredd is a person you never get to see the face of. To this day, no one knows what Dredd looks like. Except for certain people who watch it in the 90s and was like, Dredd looks like Stallone. He looks like Rocky. Dredd's just Rocky, dog. Honestly, he would have been a good Dredd if they were more accurate with things, honestly. Like, he could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
But he was given a bad script, and it was a bad movie, and it was bad.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I do like the sequence with like the kids with the guns. You're like, freeze!
Dude.
And he's like, freeze, because you're gonna shoot me with the safety on.
Well, no, what I like from that scene was freeze. Turns around. But why? I'm like, oh, fuck. This man fears nothing. And the kids are just like, oh, fuck. We fucked up. And that's when, what was her name again? Anderson gets captured.
Yeah, and that's why I was scared for Anderson, because the guy is, you can tell he's sick, because he's imagining stuff in his head, and you're like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, that was a messed up part where he was like, can you read my mind?
This was the most memorable part of the entire movie for me, because it freaked me out for a while.
Wait, which one? There were two psychic scenes that kind of fucked me up.
The scene where he made her...
Yeah. Yeah, you like, he's like, oh, read my mind. And, you know, it jars her, so he kind of has to play the whole mind game thing now.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, I was like,
if I wanted to shock you, I would think of this, and she reads his mind and just texts him, like, how about that, asshole? But when he brings her to Mama, and he's like, what are we gonna do with her? I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do with her? This movie has a tone, and I'm scared.
yeah, same here. Same here. I was like, that's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have a gun.
And then Mom's like, no, we'll make an example of her. That means no torture. Not that either. There's a lot of bullets in the face and chest.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude. You know a movie is fucked up when murder relieves you.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, oh, thank God you're gonna kill her. Oh
like,
my God.
Oh God, it's quick. It's quick.
Oh God.
And yeah, it really set the tone. And this one sequence where they utilize the Swiss Army gun, I fucking love it. Where you already saw that he was like, all right, stun, zaps the two kids, and because you know he doesn't kill kids, and pretty much makes a dummy Dredd in the phone booth, and everybody like surrounds it. And he was like, incendiary gun, a bullet. Then it fires onto the crowd, and I was like, that's white phosphorus. That's fucked up.
Oh my
That's
God.
illegal.
I mean, it doesn't matter in the nuclear waste.
It doesn't matter anymore in like Neo New York.
Yeah.
No, what it is the right thing to do. Just in my opinion.
Yep. I'm sorry, but like once
Instantly
a little
on
flare.
fire. You're like, oh my God.
Guys, they're a group of criminals from Tondo. You know, like, you can't just let them go. They're from Tondo.
No, but I will say though, that was a slow death.
Oh yeah, no shit.
White phosphorus is a slow death.
I
And
didn't-
I will say I forgot to mention one scene where
Wait though.
yeah, where it was after the machine gun scene before they call backup, where he pretty much takes out the entire team just to check out if they're dead or not, and he pulls out the second in command and throws him off like I don't know what floor, and then like hides back into the fog. I was like, that was sick.
Right?
He doesn't even like tries to shoot Mama. No, he just like that's a message.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm like, okay.
The way he takes out the first corrupt charge is pretty brutal too. He just crushes his throat like fuck.
The corrupt cop is like, choke on this, Dredd, and like pretty much squares him in the throat. And I'm like, choke on that. I'm like, the one-liners, cheesy but correct.
I mean, if it works, then it works. It doesn't really matter at this point, right?
Yeah.
And like
What works works.
the sheer cockiness of like the corrupt female judge is like, well, she is a rookie, and if I see her first, I'll shoot her first, and if she sees me first, she'll hesitate, and then I'll shoot first. And when the moment comes, she's like, put down your gun, rookie, and then she's like, no.
Reads mind. Bap!
Like, did you not know she was a mutant, you idiot?
I mean, I'm pretty sure not everybody's in to who's rookie's who.
Or that's true. She's like, huh, put down your gun. Oh, fuck.
Which works to her favor.
Yeah.
I like that scene. Yeah.
And then how he takes out the other judge too. He's like, armor piercing, out of ammo, incendiary, out of ammo, fuck. What's my last
High explosive. Just decks him in the face with a grenade gun. I'm like, a grenade bullet. I'm like,
Then when
well, he's not gonna be remembered.
when he's hit by the slug, I'm like, how is this movie gonna end? Please, this is my first time watching it. I don't wanna see the main character die.
Ah, yeah. Like, you saw that scene where he was like, armor piercing, shoots through the wall, and you see the exit, like, hole from the wall. I was like, is Dredd gonna make it?
Alright. And he's
Ah,
like,
fuck.
are you good?
No, I hit my knee on the desk.
That's how it
Okay.
feels like to get. That's how it feels like to get hit with a bullet. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And then
Accurate portrayal.
he's like, wait. He's like, wait, really? From Judge Dredd? Your last words are, wait, and he gets shot behind, like, no.
I will say I didn't like that.
Hmm?
Like, this guy had a really long monologue before
Yeah.
like shooting him. I was like, man, you're pretty much doing what he wants.
Right?
What you doing?
It's like, who's the rookie again?
Anderson.
No, I mean, like, who's the rookie in that situation? Like, why are you talking so much? Just shoot
Oh,
him.
right.
Didn't you watch that part of Game of Thrones? Well, this was before Game of Thrones. But did you know what happens when you monologue before you kill the big guy? It doesn't work ever.
Take it from Lena Headey. He has seen so much.
No,
Yeah.
take it from Pedro Pascal.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm talking about.
You killed my mother.
Uh,
I forgot how the dialogue went, but yeah,
Okay.
his head blows up.
yeah. And then, speaking of body parts blowing up, like, before that, the guy has Anderson's gun. It's like, I always wanted one of these. And, like, any last words? Any last words? Bitch.
Bitch. That's what I was trying to ask you, bitch. Then it blows up. Yeah, I don't think he dies. Maybe he bleeds out. I don't know.
Yeah, probably
But
not.
she just kicks him in the head.
I mean, his vein was, like, exposed. I guess that's how he dies.
Babe.
I like Mama just executes him because he's just sick of his shit already. Off screen.
Oh, well, they didn't show.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he's dead. Oh well, no well.
Yeah.
Did you say, oh well, no well?
That's what he says.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Okay.
But what happened after this? He
Um,
pretty much takes out the other judges, and then...
They go
Oh.
straight to Mama.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Before that, they let General Hux go because Anderson's like, he's a victim. He did nothing wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or like he suffered enough already. So
Man, like, as Seb said before, this movie has a really good way of making you feel uncomfortable. And Huxley was like an example of like somebody I don't ever want to be or touch. Cause like his nails are and like his cuticles are like peeled off, his eyes are kind of like bloodshot, his skin's like pale, and
And
he's like
speaking
tired.
of uncomfortable, the scene where Mama has like a blade in his gut. It's like, don't you say anything.
Oh yeah, don't rat us out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, stop, please, God.
and how he got his robotic eyes, I'm not gonna mention. Because I feel like Seb's already uncomfortable enough.
Yeah.
The nails. The nails.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
the
the
nails as
nails.
well.
It's the nails. I can't handle anything but nails. Nails.
And then
Yep.
that's how they get the code to Mama's room, and they come bursting in, and Anderson
I
gets
don't-
shot, right?
I do like the bit of dialogue that Anderson and Dredd have, where she's like, "You let a suspect go. That's an instant fail, rookie." And I was like, "I already lost my firearm. I already failed. I don't care. I don't want to be a Dredd. I don't want to be a judge anymore." I was like, "Okay."
All right.
But as she is in service, like while she's still doing her job, she can dictate what this guy's sentence is. And judge was like,
Sure.
"It's wrong, but okay. You're the boss, I guess."
Right.
I like that. That was a moment where Dredd was like, "Yes, ma'am." Carry on.
She's been through enough. Why not?
Yeah.
And then Mama's just monologuing. She's like, "I have an explosive, dead man switch to my heart. If you do anything, he just shoots her between the ribs." Like, well, that's one
Yeah.
solution.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Where he's like, what's this? If my heart stops beating, the bomb will go off, probably take out 50 floors. Max, right? I was like, great. Shoots her in the belly, pushes her off the fucking balcony, and it was like, yeah, but if you have the signal, and how many floors is that? 200 floors? That was Mama's weakness, was the signal from the bomb to the remote. And I was laughing so hard.
God damn you, AT&T!
And then before he kills her, he makes her take. She takes a dose of slow mo.
Oh yeah, slow-mo, because pretty much, case of your own medicine, bitch. This is gonna take forever.
Right.
Which was a really cool scene, because you go through all of the floors that Dredd just went through.
Yeah.
And you see the carnage, like the aftermath of it, and the white phosphorus room.
So one guy's
You,
on fire.
you see one guy just walking away from it with his skin burned off. I'm like, woo! Don't fuck with Dredd.
This is like all it is. It's a violent catharsis. Like
Yes.
like if you really feel like someone needs to die, then you can just envision all of your enemies as that. It's what happens. It's like what going into a martial arts gym. As you come out, things are just slightly less bad.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And it is a glorious end. Well, glorious and gory end for Mama.
Oh yeah, it was very graphic because you see the amount of G's as she hits the floor, and you just see her face splat.
Yeah.
The little detail I mentioned a while ago was that when her face splats and her blood just goes everywhere, it was in the X symbol, just like what's on Dredd's helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's
I love
corny.
that movie.
That's corny, but fun.
Yeah.
We gotta have a little bit of fun in this movie. That is only very fun if you're a psychopath. But like that little bit, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And then
And-
Greg's like, yeah, I need to get something.
That made me laugh though, because it was like one-liner. Yeah. Huh? I was like, what? Okay.
I guess.
I guess that suffice.
Sure.
This is the only fun that Judge Dredd has.
Throwing people
Delivering
off
one-liners like this. Yes.
Yeah, and horrible one-liners.
Yes.
Uh,
He's not a dialogue-filled man.
No, he's not. For sure, Huxley had more dialogue than Dredd.
Mm-hmm.
he's calling him
I might be
Hoxie?
over-exaggerating, but...
You call him Hoxie?
Yeah.
Alright.
Huxley.
Sure.
I don't call him General.
That's fine.
I'm just calling him Weasley. Like you can tell what I care about more.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
head judge is like, did she pass? He's like, yeah.
Oh, like, you gotta love how the head judge, who was like, did she pass? Looks at her, gives it probably 2 seconds. Yeah, she passes. And like, everything that judge mentioned, that if you do this, you'll fail, all that, she pretty much did. And I'm like, okay, that's character development on Judge Dredd right there.
Yeah.
I think he was just pulling like a Shota Aizawa thing. Where he's just kind of, he wants to test the fortitude of this person. It was tested properly. She reacted the way I feel like Dredd wanted her to.
Yeah.
So he passed her. I think Dredd at the end of the day is a person who understands how complicated his world is, and would only pass someone like Anderson if she got a good idea of how that is and reacts the way a good judge would.
Mhm.
I think you need good judges in that world more than you need, just a million Judge Dredds running around.
And this is like one of the most like the character development for Anderson, the entire movie, I will say, was one of the best because
I love it. Yeah.
they didn't mention anything. They didn't say, "Oh, she's like this now. Oh, she's like that." No, you see it through how she progresses.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a rookie, and it starts out like Judge is like, "You ready?" And she's like, "Yeah, you don't look ready." Once they get towards Mama, he asks her again, "Are you ready?" "Yeah, you look ready." And I'm like, I like that. That's all we fucking need.
Yeah.
That's all we fucking.
He just does the Triple H thing. Are you ready? Yeah. No! I said, are you ready?
But yeah, we pretty much reached the end of the movie.
And like,
Yes.
I think this role for Carl Urban gave him his other comic book role, which is a bit more diabolical.
Oh yeah, Butcher.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy's in everything, though. He's in Doom, he's in Lord of the Rings, he's in Star Trek, and he's in Star Wars.
People wanted.
He made a cameo in the last movie. As a stormtrooper.
What? Dude, you can see his. It's kind of like saying Daniel Craig was in the first.
Yeah.
No, because if Carl Urban was in Star Wars, I would have fucking noticed.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, his
I
only-
was like, oh, he was hidden behind a stormtrooper helmet, and he didn't speak. Or
No, he did
probably
speak. He only said Knights of Ren, and that's about it.
Okay.
He's the Knights of Ren guy. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Alright.
Alright.
It's just a shame we don't see much of Anderson's actress anymore. I don't think so. Like the last
Yeah.
I saw her in was like maybe the TV show. What do you call it? Why the Last Man? That's about it.
Oh yeah. I'm looking through IMDb right now. Not a lot of work as of recent.
I mean, Lena Headey still had Game of Thrones at this moment, so she was fine.
Yeah.
Dude, Lena Headey is gonna do well for the rest of her life. Just because you're always gonna need, like, some kind of, somewhat middle-aged, like, mom-aged supervillain woman in any
Powerful
movie.
woman.
Yeah. You need a power lady for everything, and she's that person. Like, I'm not sure who I'd want to get her as in, like, the MCU, let's say, but I would really love to see her in the MCU. If she was Asian, I'd be completely good with her being Shiva.
Oh.
Right.
Like, if
That's
they
nice.
decided to whitewash Lady Shiva, she'd be a perfect Lady Shiva.
Like if they still continued with like Ben Affleck's
Yeah.
Batman,
Yeah.
she would have been a really good Talia.
Dude, she would honestly be a great Kate Kane.
Oh shit.
I would say yeah.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
She'd be a sick Kate Kane. And within, like, how old Bruce is
Yep.
in the Ben Affleck thing, yeah, it would have lined up.
Yep.
It would have lined up really well.
Yeah.
And considering Kate is, like, the only person that Bruce regards as an equal in the family, I'd regard Lena Headey as a fucking equal if I was Batman. Because that's fucking Lena Headey, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, what would you guys rate this movie?
Honestly, out of all the comic book movies of 2012, which was Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, and Dark Knight Rises, I think this is close to like perfection. I'll give this a 9, because like they did with the most of the budget they had, and like it's a 1 hour and 30-minute superhero movie or comic book movie. Like we don't get that often. Like when we do get something that has that runtime, we get Justice League. So it's like it's either a very big miss or it's something like Dredd, where it's like you made the most out of your situation, you made the most out of your stars and the action and the budget, and it's a perfect.
And
movie.
your fucking runtime.
Yeah, and your runtime
Yeah.
too. There's no
And
like,
your fucking runtime.
there's no
You have
like,
a lot of your day left
there's no like,
after Dread.
it
Yep.
felt rushed or this was too slow. It's like no, this is perfect pacing too. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
Honestly, easy 9. Because, like, Dread is a very straightforward story. Like, nothing has ever been super overly complicated with Dredd. And this is an intro movie to Dredd. Sadly, we never got a sequel. Because it's hard to market an R-rated superhero movie at this particular time. Like, it couldn't be any harder. Because, like, we didn't have Deadpool. We didn't have, like, this fucking inclusive feeling that, like, R-rated superhero movies tend to have. Like, this is no longer the times of Blade. Things like that, where it's, like, normal to see these things. So it came out at the wrong time, but it was the right movie. It couldn't be any more correct, and it's sad that we're probably never gonna see a follow-up.
Hope, like, you know, people would, like, watch it and TikTok and, like, post about it, and
Netflix, please.
probably, yeah, Netflix would, like, you know,
I'm
bring it
hoping
back
for
or something.
Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah.
Pick it up and give it a try. Because I don't think, you know, the people who did this movie would have a hard time, like, trying to come up with a good, straightforward, another hour-and-a-half long movie of Dredd.
Yeah.
And Karl Urban would be game. Because Karl Urban is one of the most mistreated actors in all of Hollywood. The guy never gets what he deserves. Billy Butcher's great, but I don't want to watch The Boys. Like, I've seen... It's coming into its 3rd season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen 2 seasons, and I don't want to watch The Boys anymore. Let me watch something a bit more balanced, slightly less cynical, like Dredd. Do you know how bad a show has to be? How cynical a show has to be for me to say, yeah, I want something more optimistic like Dredd.
I mean, at the same time, Invincible's kind of more optimistic, kind of.
I feel like I'd have more fun with Invincible, but I don't know anything about it. But, like, at least Invincible isn't written by fucking... What's his name again? Garth Ennis. Fuck. I fucking hate Ennis' work. Because, like... Well, I love Ennis' work sometimes. Like, I love Ennis when he's doing Punisher.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want this guy to do anything at a time where I don't feel like being depressed. Because, like, Ennis hates superheroes. He just happens to work in the superhero genre. Like, he's the guy who got the job for something he hates. And it shows in all of his work. And I want to see Karl Urban in something that isn't written by Garth Ennis. There's room for Garth Ennis' work. But for me, it's not the right time. I want to see life a different way. But his work isn't bad. But believe it or not, The Boys show is a lot lighter than the comics.
Yes, it is.
The comics get so much worse. So please, like, let me watch something of Karl Urban's that's superhero-y, but also something I can like stomach. Because at this point, I can't stomach The Boys. I'm not gonna watch season 3, boys. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna want me in for that, but like, it's just too much, man. I tried to read The Boys comics, and I wasn't good for days.
Alright, you can say that, it's fine.
Yeah.
I only watched I only read a few of the comics, and I was like, no more, please, no more. And it lasted so long. At least Watchmen was like 4 or 6 issues, right? This is just like, it was a run. It was like, it just went on, and I'm like, oh no. It's too much. That's all I'm saying. It's too much.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a 9 out of 10. We got into the whole tangent about The Boys. I love it, though. I
mean, like, I got into a whole tangent about the fact that like, I just want to see Karl Urban in something I can take.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sorry. No, but I mean, like, as a main character, you mean. But yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for me as well. Actually, no, 9.5 out of 10, because they did take a lot of influence from The Raid, which I find as a plus point. Not, I don't deduct anything from that if they heavily influenced this movie from The Raid.
Like,
I really like it.
3, like, there's The Raid, and there's this, and then there's Bus. Like, this is on the same level as The Raid.
Yeah. And the amount of joy I had from it, and I will say it is rewatchable if you could stomach the gore. Or probably just watch the censored version, it's fine.
Go to Star Movies and watch it.
Is Star Movie still a thing?
I don't know.
No, it's gone. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's a 9.5 out of 10. Well, what did you guys think of the Judge Dredd movie? Did you like it? Did you not? Leave it down in the comments below. And, leave us a like. Subscribe and ring the bell icon to be notified for future videos. And you can also find us at facebook.com/geeksindegenerates and Discord group under the same name. And you can find me at JohnGOM on Instagram. It is my article. How about you guys?
IG and Twitter at Bendolphus1995.
Did you say IGN? Wait, sorry. I thought like IGN the same. But I am on Instagram at Seb the Harmistist. I am on Twitter at SebSoriano835. And please go on to our streaming page or content page, Slurrp Media, SLURRP Media at Facebook.com. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thank
you.
Boys!
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for that. But anyway, stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated, and get a booster for fuck's sake. And we'll see all you geeks and degenerates out there next time. Ciao.
Bye.